Have you ever looked at a fixed indexed annuity and been confused by the terms caps, spreads, and participation rates? Well, today I'm going to give you all the facts so you can decide which one you might want to choose. Hi, I'm Charles Cannon. I'm a certified financial planner and founder of the Lifetime Income For You channel. For all the best information on annuities and retirement income planning, make sure you subscribe to my channel and ring the bell for notifications. Today's topic is caps, spreads, and participation rates. This can be one of the most confusing parts of a fixed indexed annuity, and today we're going to take the time to explain it so that it makes sense to you. Do you remember last week's video when we took a look at company safety? One of the things that I taught you in that video was that if an insurance company has a general yield of 5.5% to 6%, they're going to offer you about half of that amount in a fixed annuity, 3%. Well, inside an indexed annuity, they're going to spend that same 3% that they would have offered you to buy you a cap, a spread, or a participation rate. One thing to understand is that your money is never in the market. It's safe in the bond portfolio of the insurance company that issued you the annuity. Another thing to understand is that whether you buy a cap, a spread, or a participation rate, it's neutral to the insurance company. They're spending the same 3% that they would have offered you in that fixed annuity, so they don't care which one you pick, and they're not making a profit based upon which choice you've made. Here's a quick summary. A cap is just that, a cap. If you were offered a 3% cap of the S&P 500, if the S&P goes up 5% that year, you get the first 3. If it goes up 2, you get 2. But if it goes up 30%, you still only get that first 3%, so it can seriously limit your upside. A spread is just the opposite. A spread might be 2%, and it means the insurance company gets the first 2%, and you get everything above that. So if the S&P goes up 3, the insurance company does not pay you the first 2, you get 1. If it goes up 5, you get 3. If it goes up 30, you get 28 because you get everything above the 2% spread. A participation rate means that you get a percentage of the upside. So if your participation rate is 50% and it goes up 5, you get 2.5. If it goes up 10, you get 5. If it goes up 30, you get 15. It's important to remember that the insurance company doesn't keep the other 15. They've just simply bought an option with that 3% that they would have offered you in a fixed fund, and their option that they bought pays half of the upside. It's a great help to me if you'll leave a comment in the space below. A lot of my videos I'm able to model off of the comments that people leave or the questions you might ask. Also, tell me what kind of annuity you have or what type of annuity you're considering. Next, let's share my screen and I'll show you how caps, spreads, and participation rates work in the crediting strategies. As you can see from the graphic here, this chart shows the returns of the S&P 500 from 1937 through 2019. 63 of those 83 years were positive. Only 20 were negative. Remember 2008? There's the minus 37%. We're going to take a look at it in our second graphic in just a minute. If we are using a cap, let's say we have a cap of 3%. In the 10 years that the S&P returned between 0 and 6, that 3% would look really good. 2015, 1.4%. You would get that entire 1.4. 2005, 4.9%, you would get the first 3. Okay? Look in the years that are double digits. In 2014, the S&P went up 13.7. Would you be happy if you only got 3% credited that year? Probably not. That means you want to use a participation rate. If you had a participation percentage of 50%, for example, you would have been credited half of 13.7, about 6.75%. If you had a participation rate of 50%, for example, in 2014, you would have gotten half of that 13.7, almost 7%. If you had had a cap in that year, only 3%. And look at the really big years. 20 of the 63 positive years were 24% or more. Another 16 were 18% or more. We want to have a participation rate inside your fixed indexed annuity to take advantage of these double-digit years. Now, the third choice you have is a spread. I haven't talked very much about it because it's very rare that you find a contract that is a spread only. Usually, it's a participation rate, and maybe it's 60% participation minus a 2% spread. So, for example, in 2019, you would have gotten 60% of 31.5, which is a little over 18%, minus the 2% spread. Your final credit would have been around 16%. Personally, I do my best to find contracts that don't attach a spread to the participation rate. That's my first choice. Now, let's go back and look and see how participation rates may have worked over the past few years. Here's a graphic that is prepared by American Equity. It's a well-known insurance company, but let's think of it as more like a general overview. In this case, the red line shows the S&P 500 return in each year, and the green line shows 47% participation rate inside a fixed indexed annuity. If you began 2006 with $100,000, that first year, the S&P 500 went up 3.5%. And so when we were having our first year annual review, you would say, Charlie, I could have made $3,500 if I had stayed invested. I only made $1,660 inside your annuity, and you may not have been very happy. But look what happened the next year. 2008, that minus 37%. If you had stayed invested, your account dropped all the way to $63,000. But you did not lose a penny inside the fixed indexed annuity. When the market rebounded the next year, your account that was in the market would have gone up about $15,000, but we went up about $11,200 in the fixed indexed annuity. Notice this blue line here is the solid 2.5% every year, like you might find in a MYGA. Each year as the market goes up, because we never lost any money, the annuity stays ahead. You can see here's a flat year in 2011, then 3 great years up. The annuity goes up too. A flat year in 2014. The equity account finally catches up in 2016. It's only $2,000 behind by then. And in 2017, it actually passes the annuity. But in 2018, which was a year that was about -8, the two accounts were back to about equal. Now, let's talk about what happened in 2019. The market went up 30%. Okay, so you would be about 227. Your indexed annuity, if it went up about half of that, would be, let's say, about 200. But then, and this is in 2019, right? But what happened in 2020? On March 23rd, the market was now down 30% at that point. Your equity amount would be about 165. But our fixed index annuity stays the same. So here we are over a 14-year period from 06 to 2020. And we've had some recovery from those lows. Right now, as of today, an S&P 500 account and an annuity that gave you 50% of the upside and no downside would be just about equal. Wouldn't you like to have accumulation without worrying about this? That's the value of an annuity using participation rates. I hope today's overview of caps, spreads, and participation rates was of good value to you. Please leave a comment below, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, and share it with a friend. Also, it's important to know that if you click the link below to become a client, you get to work directly one-on-one with me, not with a nameless, faceless person in a call center. So I would love to work with you. Click the link below to watch my masterclass and apply to become a client. And remember, the most important part of your retirement is lifetime income for you.